this computer. All right, so the pose, as I mentioned before, is reclining hero's pose. And I'm going to pull up a picture of it. In fact, two different versions of it so you can look at it. And it allows one to rest back and make as much space as can be between the throat and the digestive stomach, which at about this point in your pregnancy is very close to the nipple line. So I'm going to go ahead. It'll take me a moment to pull up the photos to show that to you. Albums, restorative yoga. Is that really, do I want to show you restorative yoga or do I want to show you prenatal? I think I want to show you prenatal actually. Here we go. Okay. So it's a pose where it can feel good or be modified to feel good for an individual practitioner, it can really be great. But where it's bothersome to someone's knees, it can be quite troubling. Okay, so here is one expression of it. Notice she's not seated on her heels. Her heels are wider than her hips. But also incredibly important, Claire, is she's on the top of her feet, not her inner ankles. If she was on her inner ankles, her knee would be torqued between where her thigh bone is and where her shin bones are. So if one cannot be on the top of the feet here, we can always put more height under the bum. And in fact, we can put considerably more height under the bum as long as we have the time and the prop. So, okay, this is one version. That is Stephanie. And then the next version I want to show you, you'll see is way more propped up. Are you clearing the wall? Because you see we're going to use the wall. Yeah, beautiful. So in this second version, I mean, we're using what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolsters, a bench, box, and 4 blankets. So like, you know, it took a while to get her set up in it. It is also a significant stretch of the front of the thighs and a significant stretch of a muscle that crosses the front of the thighs and goes into the low back. So we need to make sure the knees are agreeing to the plan, circulation is agreeing to the plan, and that the low back is agreeing to the plan. So before I stop screen share and do a version of a setup and talk you through a version of a setup, do you have any questions or want to see the prior picture again?
No, I think that's pretty clear.
Okay. All right. So I know you have a bolster and 2 blocks. How many blankets do you have with you?
I have 3.
You have 3 with you. Okay. So for padding for the top of the feet, I imagine it will be useful for you to turn your mat in toward the wall.
Okay.
And just fair warning that it's a wonderful pose where it works, and it's one where we have to go through a lot of effort and rigmarole sometimes to discover that it doesn't work. So forgive me in advance, please, if we try to set you up in this, Claire, and it doesn't work for you.
Oh, good. No, it's okay.
Okay. So having your 2 blocks as well as all of your blankets nearby and on hand. And then take one of your blankets. Let me see how they are folded. I'm so pleased that they're folded that way. Either holding the, yeah, perfect. Fold toward the fringe once. Are the different blankets different thicknesses, or are they all the same thickness?
They're all pretty the same thickness, like this.
So put this one almost like it's a long bolster extending away from the wall. And it's very possible we'll get almost the structure set and you'll realize that you just need more props than we have here today. Then take one of your blocks, and we might have to play with a little bit since different people have different props with different solidness is. Probably put a tallest block right up against a wall and a medium block against it. From there, take your bolster in. When you come to lie here, one, we have to make sure the ankles and knees are agreeing to the plan. But if indeed they do agree to the plan, you will probably also want a little bit of support under the skull. And exactly where that's going to go is anybody's guess. So that extra blanket could be just nearby. Also, it's possible that you're going to take a second blanket, go back and add it to this first one at some point to thicken it. It's possible, depending on thighs and knees and ankles. Yeah. Let me show you how I would come to be here and then leave it, which is the only pose I refer to as loading in and loading out. The reason I would refer to it as loading in and loading out is because I want to be on the toenail shin side of my feet. I'm going to back my business up. I'm going to sit down, rolling my calf meat out. Oh my gosh, my body is very happy, as you can probably tell. And I'm actually right now not feeling like my head wants any additional support. Hands could rest on my lap, or I could possibly create a little hand nom 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 nom. It's time to come out. A lot of people's inclination is to kick the leg straight forward, but we just can't do that safely for the knee here. So climbing forward, but what we can do then, which is really nice, is come back and rest here. Which is a nice, like, if it's just not working, then if it's just not working. Was it your inclination to try and put an extra blanket on top of the first one, Claire?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and do that now then. Go ahead and remove the 2 blocks and remove the bolster. And have fringe pointing to the left on one and fringe pointing to the right on the other. Yeah. Great. Wonderful. So coming to hands and knees, backing it up. Exactly. And you might even let your heels go out a little bit if that feels available. And I always roll my calf meat a little back and wide. How are your knees? How is your low back?
Yeah, it all feels pretty loose.
Great. Does it feel like some support behind the crown would be nice, or support for the hands?
Yeah, this feels, oh, that feels better.
Great. Now, if I was there with like more bolsters or extra stuff, I could create little hand thrones on either side of you. That could be palm up or palm down. Yeah, so you might close your eyes and breathe here. There's so much space here between the throat and the digestive stomach. It is, however, a somewhat challenging angle for circulation as far as getting around the bent knee towards the feet. So at some point you'd want to climb forward to unload from the position. And from there you could sit back as I demonstrated. And if you're okay here, I'll leave you breathing here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that feels really good.
Good, 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 good. Some time spent in that can be super useful for minimizing nausea, acid reflux, heartburn.
Awesome. Thank you for showing me.
Bless you. Thank you.
All right. Bye, Julian.
Bye.